In this channel, we are trying every time to improve your English with different means, unique means. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you from where you need to start learning English. Firstly, do you know which are the 4 pillars of English? Pillars of English. Why we say? Because the English language is based on that foundation. The foundation of English language is based on these 4 main pillars. Which are these 4 pillars? That is reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Yes, you must have heard about them. When you are about to learn English, when you are starting to learn English, as a beginner, English, firstly, I'll tell you, is very vast. So you cannot just start learning English by listening to the audio also, by writing also, by improving your speaking and confidence and fluency also, and by different means altogether. Yes, these are 4 ways. These are 4 different ways in which you cannot walk at the same time. You need to walk one at a time. Yes, that means if you are working on improving your reading skills in English, at the same time you cannot write, at the same time you cannot improve your speaking, at the same time you cannot improve your listening. Out of all these 4 skills, reading, writing, speaking, and listening is considered to be the most difficult English skill or the most complicated English pillar. Why? You must have experienced this, that when you are trying to understand the dialogues of an English movie or the lyrics of an English song, it becomes very complicated and you start losing your confidence. You start feeling that English is very tough and we are not going to understand anything. But let me tell you that if you are going to follow step by step, English is the easiest language you have ever learned. So talking about the 4 pillars of English, that is reading, writing, speaking, and listening. How does reading help you? The first benefit that you get from reading is when you read, when you start reading, when you have read in your school days, you must be reading lessons, you must have read text, articles. How does reading help you? Reading helps you firstly in understanding what is the essence. What does this line mean? Rahul was playing in the garden. Rahul was playing in the garden with his friends. Yes, this is a line given in a paragraph or in a text. Simple English I'm talking about. You can read, you can understand. So it is giving a base to your understanding. This is the first benefit of reading. It helps you understand the text, understand what is given. Secondly, as you read, if you are reading a question, so where was the uncle? That's a question. Yes, and can you read it like this? So where was the uncle? No, it is not a sentence. It is a question, and it needs to be spoken and read in the form of a question only. That goes with your expression and that goes with your intonation. Intonation is the tone of your language that varies, that changes when you speak a question. Wow, that was great. So that was an exclamation, and that should come with an expression. Expression is very important in English, and all these qualities you learn only by reading. You read, that the first benefit of reading is what? You understand the text. Secondly, your intonation improves. You know where you have to ask a question, where you have to exclaim, where it's a sentence, and where there are different pitches, higher and lower, that you have to say. Yes, right. Similarly, as in a song, that's a high pitch and a lower pitch. Yes, so when you are reading, there also you need to have variations. And the last advantage or another advantage of reading is when you start reading English, you start learning the pronunciations also of basic words. Yes, here again I'm telling you that we are talking about simple English language. You understand the pronunciations between bath, and bathe. You understand pronunciations between basics, yes, benign. There are many different pronunciations that as and when you read the text, as and when you read any article, anything, then only you learn those basic pronunciations. When you read across anything, you will find out that yes, I have been pronouncing this word wrong in so many years, and now I know the correct pronunciation. If there is any new word, you're learning that word, you're learning the pronunciation, you're learning its use, you're learning how I can implement it, how I can apply that knowledge. Yes, the second pillar, that is writing. At school time, we have done tremendous practice of writing and writing so that we can come somewhere closer to perfection. We can write perfectly, but nobody can write perfectly. Let me tell you that. Yes, perfect, it can be close to perfection. It can be very good, using very rich words, polished words, very nice words. Yes, heavy words. You can use that, of course, if you know. So when you are writing anything, now your reading part is over, when you are writing anything. When you are writing, what are you doing? You are expressing. You are giving words to your expression. Yes? Writing here at school level, college level, or any level, writing is very important. Writing helps to give words to the expression, firstly. Secondly, writing or learning how to write in English, that also requires the root of grammar. You should be aware of the rules of grammar when you are up to writing English language. You cannot make grammatical errors there. Thirdly, when you are writing English, when you want to improve your writing in English, you should know grammar rules. You should know how to express yourself. Yes, and thirdly, when you know how to express yourself, you are searching for words. Your mind is searching for words. Which words fit in this situation? Yes. Now I am not feeling well. My mind is going round and round, but I cannot write this in the writing text. Suppose I want to write a diary entry. Suppose I want to write an experience. I cannot write that when I went to my uncle's house, I was sick and my brain or my head was going round and round. Yes. No, there is a word for it. And how do I know there is a word for it? And how do I know all such words that are meant for such expressions? Yes. I was feeling dizzy. Dizzy is what? What is dizzy? Dizzy is when exactly your head keeps on rolling. You cannot write my head was rolling. I was feeling dizzy. Yes. How do we get such words? Vocabulary. So grammar, vocabulary, and expression. These three things are very important when we are learning how to write English. The third pillar of English is speaking. Speaking, obviously, as everyone knows, when you start speaking in English, the first benefit that it gives is, it gives us confidence. Yes, when we start speaking in English, we are full of confidence. Of course, it means pre-planning, it means a lot of preparation to be done. But then when we start speaking, we feel proud, we feel great, we feel we are talking in English. There's a good impression on everyone, we are outshining everyone else. Yes, we feel proud of ourselves. That is somehow boosting our confidence. Yes, oh, how nicely you speak, how perfectly you explained, I've understood everything. This is all the magic of speaking. Speaking not only boosts your confidence, but it also helps you build your fluency. Yes, you can be a fluent English speaker only if you learn how to speak in English. Without knowing the words of English, without knowing what to speak, and without speaking out in English, you can never imagine to have a good fluency. You can have a good fluency only when you start speaking in English. How to start speaking in English? If you find nobody to talk to in English, you talk to yourself in English. Start speaking to yourself. What happened today? How was my day? And one main thing, I'll tell you about that later in the video about speaking. That is one secret that everybody knows and maybe nobody knows. Yeah. And the fourth main pillar of English, that is listening. Listening, that's very important and that's very tough. It is said to be very complicated. Why it is complicated? Because no matter how good we are in speaking or writing or reading English, but when it comes to listening to some native speaker, like listening to English movies or English news, we are perplexed, we are confused. What did he say? What did she say? What does it meant? Did I miss something? I know enough English, but then why can't I understand what's going on? This is all a failure of listening skill. So to develop the listening skill, what you have to do is, firstly, the benefits of listening skill is you have to catch hold of the accent. Yes, keep on listening to that accent to come to know that yes, this is how they say. Yes, because some say develop, some say develop, some say mobile, some say mobile. So there are different accents. Now, depends whether you are listening to an American accent or a British accent or a French accent. They're all different. Spanish accent, everything is different. But my intention is what? That I need to understand no matter what accent you're using. And for that, what I have to do is, I have to analyze and I have to focus. Focus means to be very careful with what is going on. I have to listen very carefully. I have to concentrate and focus on what is going on. Yes, this is how we can master all these 4 pillars. If all 4 pillars we have a good grasp of, then only we can go ahead with our English learning. Yes, now I told you what are the benefits of reading, writing, speaking and listening. What is the outcome of that? If you have learned reading English text, articles, anything, yes, what is the benefit, outcome in daily life? How can it help you? You can read English newspapers. Yes, and if you don't have English newspapers, you can read English storybooks. Any storybook you can pick up and you can read. Yes, why? Because you are reading and you're finding out how interesting it is to read and so easy it is to read. You just have complicated it in your mind, but actually the ground reality is that reading English is the easiest thing to do. As listening is the toughest, reading is the easiest thing to do. You can read, you can understand the text, you can find out the meaning, you can add it to your vocabulary. Yes, so you can read any article, any newspaper in your mobile phones. If you have the text messages coming, you might find that sometimes the message come of EMI, this monthly EMI, this much is deducted, this much interest would be deducted by this particular bank. The message is given in English. If it's given in English, if you have by default the language is English, sometimes we fail to understand what is this exact message. Interest is deducted, okay, 4% is given, EMI is paid, not paid. There's a lot of confusion, a lot of questions in our mind. Yes, so first thing is we can understand everything that is given in English by reading. Benefit of writing is we are not dependent on anyone to write scripts for us. Please write one paragraph of debate. My son is having a debate competition and I'm not ready with the matter. Yes, so I can write anything. I can write a letter if I want to complain to the municipal department. Then I can write a letter. I am not dependent on a proficient English writer to write any article or any message for that. I am good enough to write. I am not dependent. I can write letters. I can reply to the letters. I can write articles. I can write debate. I can write speeches. Yes, and once I can write speeches, the third pillar, the benefit and outcome of that is I can speak the speeches. Yes, well versed. I can speak. If you are a fluent English speaker, if you are a proficient English speaker, if you master this art of speaking skill, speaking in English, then you can speak anywhere without hesitating. Yes, because you're confident. So speaking English, the first, foremost, and the most important benefit that speaking skills can give you is it can boost up your confidence to 1000% of what it was earlier. And the basic requirement, I told you before that there's one secret to that. You can at home learn English, improve your English, know better words, add it to your vocabulary, everything, only if you're not dependent on your mother language. You'll find many videos in which you are learning English through Hindi language or through any other regional language. Yes, that is exactly like learning to walk holding your parents' hand. Obviously, you're never going to fall. Yes, you are never going to fall because you're having a support of your parents on the other hand. But that is not how you're going to learn things. You can learn by doing. If you fall, you will learn. If you will fail, you'll remember what all things I have to avoid. So while we are learning English, we have to keep our native language, our mother tongue, away for some time. Yes, it is our mother tongue, and it's not that if for 2 days you're not speaking in your mother tongue, in your regional language, you'll forget it. It's not like that. You'll remember it forever because it is being spoken in your home. You're speaking it with your friends, with your relatives. Yes, but you are learning a new language and you have to give some time to it. So you have to start thinking in English. Imagine everything in English. It is possible that you don't know what this is called, what that thing is called in English, what that thing is called in English. It's okay. You'll take time and you'll learn. Yes, but then what? What we have to do is we just have to do what? We have to start thinking in English. If you start thinking in English, ideas are going to pop up in your mind. You're going to come back with better words. You are going to have a good vocabulary and everything is going to fall on track. Yes. And the fourth pillar, that is listening. What is the outcome of improving your listening skills? That is, you can understand the English news channel, you can understand English songs, you can understand the lyrics of each and everything in English that you can understand. Yes, so there are so many benefits and there is so much of outcome that can come only by mastering these 4 pillars, that is reading, writing, speaking and listening. Yes. Now, at the end, I want to conclude this by saying that we have this knowledge now. I am just building up your base because we have to go a long journey. We have to move from ordinary to extraordinary English speaker. Yes. And how we are going to cover that journey? How? By having some basic keys in our hand. You cannot learn English language without having the rule of grammar. You have to apply the rules of grammar everywhere. You have to stick to them. And once you make it a habit, it's going to naturally flow. Secondly is vocabulary. You need to have a good vocabulary. The second key of English language learning is vocabulary. And how vocabulary I can build? I can keep on reading. I can keep on learning. And in this journey of learning that I am doing, I can maintain a notebook called word bank, and I can every time write the word, whichever new word that I have learned, and I can write it in a sentence. Keep on adding, keep on implementing. Use also in your speaking. Yes. The third thing is fluency. As much as you talk in English, that much fluent you'll become. So start speaking today in English with whoever you get. When I was young, I used to speak in English with my sister because we two were the only two who were fond of speaking in English. Rest nobody was interested. So whatever company you get, if you agree, if your friend agrees with you, both of them you can start talking in English and you can correct each other's mistake. And in case both of you are unable to correct each other's mistake, then I'm always there for your help. And the last but not the least is you have to practice writing. Write English. Yes, without practicing, you're never going to be perfect in English language, in writing English language. Yes, and how are you going to practice writing? Whatever knowledge from the beginning till now you have of English, this is the time to apply. English language learning is like maths. If you know the formula, you know how to apply it, there you go, you get the answer. Similarly, in English language also, if you know the grammar rules, you have a perfect vocabulary and you know how to use. There you are. You have become the master of English language in no time. Of course, but it's going to take some time. So you need to have patience and you need to stick to my channel so that I can come up with new ideas on how to learn English in quick, simple and easy steps. Yes? So we'll meet in the next video. If this video was relevant for you, if you have any suggestions, all suggestions are welcome. So tune in to my channel and like my channel, subscribe my channel Voca Vita English for further more information on English language learning. I'll tell you again that it's a fun and interesting journey. Only you have to be with me all the time. Yes? So till then, stay home, stay safe, and thank you for watching.